Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Meet the Speaker. I'm Joe Eames, and with me today we have Daniel Ostrovsky.
Yeah.
How you doing, Daniel?
Great.
Good. Well, we are excited for your talk. I'm just going to give everybody a little tiny hint here. As the selection committee, Daniel submitted like a bunch of really great talks, and so we were excited to be able to select one of his talks. But we're here to talk about you. So I'm going to jump right into it with some basic questions. Ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. So first off, just a basic thing, like, how did you get into programming?
Basically, it's interesting story. I first time touched the book about the programming, about the Windows 95 back in the 1995. Okay. When I was living in Ukraine then, before I moved to Israel, and so actually, I had the book, but I didn't have the computer. It was funny, and then I went to one of my friends he said, I have a computer, come to see it. It was, high tech, something like incredible for me to see the real computer. And when I came to him, I saw, like keyboard that you connect to the tape to load the 64 kilobyte of something visual, some basic, okay, some very simple games and stuff like this. And like, it's different from what I see on the book. In the book, I see like icons and start button and whatever. And yeah, so this is when I first time touched the computer. But as a professional or something like this, I just become already in Israel after I finished school, and I was good at math, and somehow it was natively I moved to programming. Awesome. One of my friends, he was like saying, you have a head for this, you can do it, so just start doing it. And my first language was called Fusion.
Yep.
I also started, it was before Stack Overflow or Google, okay, and I started on a huge book like this. It was called Fusion 4.5 or 4.6, something like this.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a really long time ago.
That's cool. So is there any technologies that you don't use anymore that you miss?
That I miss?
Yeah.
Python, probably.
Yeah.
I had a good chance in one of my previous jobs to use Python on very deep level, including some different, like data processing libraries like pandas and stuff like this. I really liked it, but then I had to choose between to be a backend or front end. So I moved to the front end and moved to Angular. Like back then it was Angular JS. It was like kind of full stack way before this the word was exist.
Right.
Okay. It just was developer, programmer, even not developer. So yeah, I moved to decided to be on the front side, client side developer with Angular, and yeah, so sometimes I'm doing some kind of small pet projects in Python, some scripts, stuff like this, but yeah, I kind of miss it.
Cool. That's cool. All right. So speaking of Angular, let's get a question about Angular in here. What is one of your favorite parts of Angular?
Actually, there's two things that I like. One of them is it's enterprise oriented. Kind of enterprise ready, okay? Meaning you have everything is like strict, starting from the methodology up to file structure, folder structures, and everything. All this code generators and stuff. That all this ecosystem, okay? Like I really like the ecosystem around the Angular and that what it allows you to do, okay? Like I have. In any new project, one of the things that I'm always starting with is enriching the ecosystem with the different schematics and the code not compilers, code creators, like some kind of tools that allows me to generate code generators. It allows me to generate different things. And the second thing is that I don't know if it's like for Angular or for Narwhal, but basically that's great fit in monorepo. Okay, so that's two things that I like huge V's to select between different technologies when I'm starting any new project. Okay, I'm kind of, okay, let's see if we're gonna have more than 10 developers one day. So let's move to Angular. Okay, it's just simple as this. Okay, so if it's something smaller, it will be always only one or two, whatever they can choose. It's not up to me. But if as soon as we're talking about the, if you want to be an enterprise, so think as an enterprise and start developing as an enterprise from day one, not from.
Cool. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk actually about your talk then. What are you going to be speaking on at ng-conf?
About metaprogramming in TypeScript. That basically I did this talk once on very small meetup, kind of conference meetup, and I realized that what I wanted to talk about and what people get out of my talk was absolutely different. And I really like what they get and want to really like enrich this area, okay? Because there's a lot of people was like, oh, it just made me, you just put everything on the shelves about the all metaprogramming and the reflection and how it works and why we need this and why actually this exists, because I see it on my packages and I have no idea why I need it, okay? I'm like, what's going on? Even simple decorators, they don't use any reflection, something like this. And yeah, basically, I'm gonna show some examples of dependency injection and how actually framework works. Okay, how you can create your own framework, and basically separate. One of the most important things is to separate a meaning of semantic of Angular and metaprogramming. Okay, that people need to understand that all these decorators, it's like semantic that based on metaprogramming. It's something that they can do by themselves. Okay, it's not, there is no magic in it. Okay, it's like everyone, oh, it's magic, just decorator and it works, and like, all I need is just, but if you want to be a pro, if you want to be an engineer, you have to understand how this works, what's going on behind the scene. At least on the on high level understanding.
Right. Cool. All right. Awesome. Okay. Well, we're gonna end on a more fun question here. If you had to choose a job outside of software and money didn't matter, what would you do?
First thing that I'll do, but only if my wife will allow me to do it, is sailing around the world.
Yeah.
I just got the license and I really like to sail, and I really love to have some kind of long, like half-year sailing around the world. But for living, cooking.
Oh.
I was really, one of my dreams is actually open my own restaurant, but it's kind of dream similar to be on the moon.
Yeah.
Like something like this. Okay, so far from there. So
nice. All right. Well, we're going to finish up with our rapid fire questions. So I'm going to ask you a question, A, or you choose A or B, no explanation necessary. Ready? All right. First one, very standard. Kirk or Picard?
No idea who are they.
From Star Trek. The main Star Trek guys. So you're not into Star Trek.
I'm not. I know who spoke, but not more than that.
No Spock. All right, cool. All right, well let's keep going here. Ruby or Scala?
Scala.
Okay. Golf or mini golf?
None of them.
Okay.
Boring.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Stranger Things or Lost?
Lost.
Okay. Game of Thrones or Squid Game?
Game of Thrones, except the last 2 seasons.
Awesome. All right. Vite or Webpack?
But
Okay. All right. Final one. Billie Eilish or Billy Joel?
I know who's Billie Eilish. I have no idea who's the second one. So
You don't know who Billy Joel is? Oh, you'll have to. It's the Piano Man. He's older.
okay.
All right. Okay, Billy Eilish. Well, cool. Well, thanks, Daniel, for taking your time to be with us and to go through this. And thanks everybody for listening. Really excited to seeing you at ng-conf and seeing your talk. This is one of the ones that I'm really looking forward to. So thanks again.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.